right, welcome back, watch fans, for Watch Talk Friday. So we are going to be talking about some of the latest results, what's happening in the market, prices for Rolex, Patek Philippe, and also independent brands. It's pretty interesting. We're going to be looking at this auction here, a Loop This auction, and it's kind of interesting because here you're going to see where the real market is. A lot of times like Sotheby's, Christie's, a lot of that stuff is prices are a little bit pumped up. We're not really sure what's going on over there. You got very high premiums, but these are the prices where things really are. So we're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna analyze what's happening in the market with these trends, and feel free to leave your comments, share your thoughts. Now, let's see. Okay, before we get started, guys, make sure you get access to our free weekly newsletter, our email newsletter, which basically looks like this. Well, actually, the one on the right is the screenshot. Watch market news, prices, Audemars Piguet, Patek, Rolex, all that good stuff and more. It's all in that newsletter, and link to subscribe for free is in the video description below. All right, so let's get into the program. Okay, so here's some recent results from Loop This, right? And so their market is pretty much serious enthusiasts. Some dealers are buying with them, consigning with them. Let's take a look at this. So we got MB&F. MB&F got some pretty interesting prices here. Here's something interesting. MB&F horological machine. So this is like, one of these really crazy watches, the Space Pirate in titanium. And, this thing sold for some real money, 110 grand, very active bidding, 110 grand. So, the market is, relatively vibrant, right? So automatic flying tourbillon. Let's see, box papers, 2014. Here is what the watch actually looks like on the wrist. Pretty insane what this thing looks like. Let's pop out of here. Now, what does this thing go for? Nice strap, actually. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at this over here. Yellow, good choice. The yellow strap, I think, really, makes this thing pop. I think this is, I'm not familiar with this watch. I'm assuming that's a bespoke strap. I'm not sure exactly. Let's take a look at horological machine. Okay, butterfly clasp. Yeah, interesting watch. And this was what, limited to 50 pieces, right? Limited edition. So this, I guess, was number one. This was number one of 50. Okay, so the Space Pirate. Let's take a look. What are people saying here? Hallmarks of Max Buser style as a watchmaker. Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look. Okay, whatever. Look, I don't know what's going on there. Okay, but let's get into kind of the more meat and potatoes of the market, the Aquanaut. This is the original one. This is the old one. Look at this. This one's been kind of banged up. It's been used, well worn, and the hammer price was, including everything, right, all in, $23,000. Let's see. And what are these things going for? I'm just curious. Let's hop over on Chrono. Let's see what they're going for on Chrono. Okay, let's do a quick search. Okay, so on Chrono, cheapest price is roughly $32,000. That's usually box papers, right? Okay. Now, I think the one we looked at was a kind of polished, might have been a little bit banged up. This one has a couple scratches, etc. You know, it looks pretty decent. The photo looks pretty good here. Let's take a look here. So, oh, sorry. Hang on a second. Hang on. Okay. Sorry, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. So this is Chrono. They're going for about 32 grand on Chrono. And again, you figure the real price is probably, you could probably get it for, you know, maybe 10% off. I think 8%. Actually, it's hard. Maybe you could, the real price is probably around 31 grand, 30 grand really. So, you know, decent deal. Again, you know, decent deal out there for this Aquanaut. Let's go back. Hang on a second. Let us go back. Let's pop back in here. Share this tab. Okay. Now, what else do they have going on? What else is interesting at Loop This? Okay, so yeah, they sold a, you know, the Submariner, you know, modern watch, right? So what did this go for? Box papers, of course, full set. Let's see here. Hang tags. 2016. This let's take a look. Yeah, nice condition, right? Look at this. Nice and crisp. Everything looks pretty decent, right? Let's take a look. Where's the box paper? You see they open it up for you. It's the real deal, not the Chinese version, not the made in China version. And what is, let's go back here. Let's go back. What is, and these are going for roughly, you know, so it's 9,300 here on Chrono, around the same price, maybe 10 grand. Yeah, this is pretty much a commodity, right? When you talk about Rolex Submariners, that's really a commodity market, and you know, that's really that thing is really I don't know. I don't know what the point of buying that is. I have no idea why anybody would want to wear that, but whatever. Let's go through here. Corona, I don't follow that. Ulysse Nardin. Let's take a look. Ming. This is interesting. Look, I think the Ming watches are quite interesting. Would I buy a Ming? I don't know. Would I buy Ming? I think the design is really good. Is the value there? Let's take a look. Now, what exactly is Ming GM? And this is titanium, right? Interesting. I'd like to learn a little bit more about these Mings. I think this would be good, like on a bespoke rubber strap. And again, this is it's a GMT, so that's kind of interesting for a couple of grand. Let's see, what do they go for on Chrono? What do the tomato cans sell them on Chrono for? So cheapest price. Okay, these are coming from Japan. Private seller. I hate private sellers. Let's just say you could probably get it for $2,500 in the US or wherever. $2,500. Singapore, man, everybody's dumping these, huh? So many of them on the market. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think of Ming? What do you think of Ming? Now, this loom is amazing, right? Look at this loom. Look at the way this looks at night. That's a really good look. That is a really good look. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at the Ming. Yeah. I mean, it's really stunning. This thing is absolutely stunning. With the night version. I mean, it's worth getting just for that. Would I buy this watch? I don't know, man. I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of intrigued by these. I think for if you can get this for $2,500, right? I think it's a pretty decent value. Now, how do you get the GMT function to work? Like, I don't know. How do you know when it's day or night? I don't know. It's a like this is a little too bare bones for me. Like, I need a little more stuff going on here. Let's take a look here. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Oh, shit. Got to go back to, there we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Now okay. There we go. That's what's happening with the chrono. Okay. So again, chrono, let me show you that loom shot again. Sorry, because I didn't have the screen on right there. This is the loom shot at night. Amazing loom. I think that makes the watch, I mean, that's really I think that's what's special about the Ming, right? Interesting. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what else they got going on. We got Ming, we got Cartier. Yeah, the usual suspects. No big deal. Cartier, Baltic. Yeah, this is the Baltic. I don't know. Everybody's like, the Baltic thing has been getting some traction. The Baltic thing has been getting traction. It's a good value. I think you get these things for like, I mean, you can get the Baltic watches for what is like $500 or something, like $1,000. They're kind of cool. The Baltic watches, I think, are kind of cool. I mean, look, how could you go wrong? $500. Let me see. What do they have any Baltics on chrono? Baltic. Low to high, Baltic. There you go, Baltic. Under $500, you get the Breguet numerals. We know people who like Breguet numerals on this channel. Let me see here. It's the Baltic. All right. We got that. Let's see. Okay. We got what else? What else does Baltic have to offer, right? What does Baltic have to offer? Let's take a look. So this is kind of interesting, right? 37 millimeter, good size. The design is actually, it's a really tight design. I mean, yeah, it's got style. I mean, it's got everything going for it. For $600, these guys are, punching above their weight class. Is how I would describe this. A lot of serious people are into the Baltic watches. Especially for their what is it? I think I saw some video with was it Eric Quo or a couple of other guys. I think it was, they were at the Geneva show, and yes, what are you wearing? They were all wearing Baltic watches when they were traveling in Europe because they're paranoid about getting robbed. So they were wearing the Baltic, for $600. Interesting. So we got the Baltic GMT with a date. Kind of a cool bracelet. Yeah. These things they give you a lot of value. Maybe you can get this for even under $1,000. There's kind of value there. I mean, they do a nice job with these watches. Look at this. The dial, somebody put thought into this dial. I mean, it's pretty interesting what Baltic is doing. Let's go back into the auction here. Okay, what else we got? We got Baltic, got Ming now. Okay, this is, I think, the star of the show, right? Patek Aquanaut, yellow gold. What do you guys think of this watch? 5066. This is no longer made. What's interesting is this has this very it looks almost quaint. I mean, this thing is like, it's a little bit dated looking, compared to, especially to the new ones. This thing's definitely has been worn a couple times, a couple thousand times maybe. I don't see the value here. I really don't. If it wasn't for the hype, this thing would be like, an $18,000 watch, maybe on a good day. I don't get this hype on these Aquanauts, and I think at some point it's going to come down. Yes, Baron Neo, this is 100% live. Baron Mick in Florida. Which one? Now I got your comment. Which watch are you talking about? You talking about the Aquanaut here? The yellow gold Aquanaut? Hello, humanity. Hello, Baron Neo. Let's take a look. Baron Neo, by the way, are you a subscriber to our weekly newsletter? If you're not, make sure you click the link in the video description below to subscribe. All right, so what do you guys think of this Patek Aquanaut, and what was the price? Hammer price, $36,300. $36,300 for this Aquanaut, and this is 5066J, right? I think it comes with papers, right? Papers included. And let's see what they're going for on chrono. Okay, low to high. So the cheapest one on chrono, and this is cleaner example, no box, no papers, 50 grand. 50 grand. So that tells us that, so again, these are going for about 50 grand on chrono. This is actually kind of interesting. Brown strap. I don't know. It looks kind of good. It looks good. I think the Aquanaut in gold looks much, much better than the one in steel. I mean, if you're going to go for the Aquanaut, why not get it in gold? Yellow gold. So, so this is apparently a pretty sharp deal that these guys got over here for, 30 grand. 30 grand here on Loop This. There we go. There is your buckle. Okay. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. So big savings. I mean, I don't know. We've seen some real bargains on this Loop This. We've seen some things go for real bargains. Now, this is interesting. Creedor. I don't get this Creedor thing. I can't. So this thing is sold for 46 grand. Creedor. What is Creedor going for on chrono? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at chrono. So couldn't find it. So I don't know. The more I look at the Aquanaut, the more I think this is just really, really overhyped. Way, way, way overhyped. Yeah, it's just gone absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And you're taking a big risk, I believe, with these Aquanauts, because it's a real basic watch. It's a real basic watch. At some point when the fad kind of dies down, they're not going to be that interesting, and they're going to be kind of considered tacky. So Baron Neo saying that the Creedor is the ultra high-end Seiko. They are amazing. Okay. Let's go share this thing. How amazing could this thing be? How amazing can this thing be? I mean, this looks like just a very simple, basic watch. Very simple. I mean, I don't know what you're getting here. It's beyond me. This is beyond me. The Creedor thing is just, I don't get the Creedor. I don't get the Grand Seiko. I think they're kind of shitters now. Here's something interesting. So we got a vintage Rolex 6239. sold for 37 grand. Now this seems very low, right? These I believe are like in the 70s, 60s. Let's see, what were the notes? Okay, so these vintage things, there could be a lot of stuff going on. The condition, minor surface, luminova dial, bezel, central hands are original service parts. So the bezel, central hands, and dial. The bezel, central hands, and dial are service parts, meaning that it's not original to the watch. Okay, interesting. Let's see, Rolex 6239. These are I don't know. These are just super tricky, and I don't get the whole the Rolex, the vintage Rolex stuff. You know, I know we had Eric Wind on. You know, he's an expert on all this stuff. He might be able to explain this. I get the historical rarity, whatever. Just these watches are so damn ugly. You know. So these are roughly 60 grand plus. Maybe this is this. I'm assuming it's original. I don't know. So this is tricky. You gotta, you know, you really need to know what you're doing with these vintage models. I mean, this just goes to show you the big price disparity, right? Let's pop back. Let's see here. The dial is hand painted by one person on the corridor. I don't care if 100 people paint the dial. Who cares? I mean, those stories, they do nothing for me. The Creedor is just a very basic watch. What is so great about this? Can somebody explain this to me? I mean, the design is not innovative. The dial is boring. The case is boring. Everything about this watch is boring. What is so good about this? It's done by hand. Who cares? They can only make 20 watches a year. 20 watches a year. So what? Hand-painted dial. Hand-painted dial. You know, I was talking about this yesterday when we were discussing the Patek. If we got anybody who wants to jump on, we were discussing those Patek handcraft. Look, I really don't care how much work has gone into it, how much handwork has gone into the watch, if it's not beautiful. Okay, it's not about the technique. You know, it's about the end result. Imagine if Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel and it was a dog, right? Nobody would care how much time he spent painting it, right? I think it took him a couple of years. Let's go into let's see here. Okay, Langenzone. Not bad. So this sold for 19 grand, $19,000, and these go for about 23,000 roughly on chrono. I don't know. You got to admit, this is a much more interesting watch than the Creedor. Let's see here. The only thing with these Lange watches is, again, like, you know, the whole thing with these is, oh, yeah, let me show you the back of the case. Let me show you the back. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? You don't even get a deployment clasp. Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan. I mean, if it was cheap and good, yeah, but yeah, for 20 grand, it's like, what's the big deal? Okay, so, what is this? Mastercard, yeah, I don't care about that. Okay, Rolex GMT sold for 18 grand. You're thinking, man, this is a bargain, right? Is this a bargain? Is this a bargain? $18,761 for a gold 30 dial GMT. It's got to be a catch, right? It's got to be a catch. Got to be a catch. Looks like it's been polished. Okay, let's read the condition report. Watch overall good condition. Case has been previously polished. No visible chamfered edges on case. Minor, blah, 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 blah. Dial is high quality, refinished aftermarket. Aftermarket dial. Okay. All right. So aftermarket dial. Looks like it's been beaten up. I don't know. You can probably get a. Let me see. What are these going for? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. There we go. Let's take a look. So, so on Chrono, we got an example here. 20 grand, GMT in full gold, black dial. Oh, excuse me. No, this is, oh, shit. I clicked the wrong link here. Sorry. Okay, there we go. I mean, that's like a bullshit estimate. Okay. So we got one here which has been banged up, 23 grand on a Jubilee. Kind of a cool look. I mean, it's all stretched out. Very stretched out. Kind of interesting. Let's see here. I think with these GMTs, I'm really kind of intrigued by them. On a leather strap, I think it's kind of intriguing. You got to find the right one. I'd wear like maybe a brown suede. 28. Let's see. Root beer. Look at this beautiful sunburst. And this has been banged out. Look at this. Oof. Whoa. Wow. It is interesting though, no? I think it's kind of interesting. Let's go back here. Yeah, I think that one was a little high. That 30 dial thing. I don't know. You kind of, it's an aftermarket dial, right? So you kind of got to get the right dial. That's going to be a couple of grand. I don't know. I think we talked about this over here. This was a couple of weeks ago. AP dress watch. Now, the problem with these APs always is this, right? Very hard to find a dial in good condition. They always have something going on along the edges. There's always some damage. Something's wrong with these. Like, I don't know what these guys were doing, but again, look at this. There's also some discoloration, oxidation. I mean, literally 90% of the Audemars Piguet dials that you see, made, prior to, the year let's call it 1995, to be generous, they got something with the dial, something going on with the dial. Yeah, we talked about this a couple of weeks back. Ressence, really interesting. Okay. What do these guys have coming up for auction, right? Let's take a look. What do they have up for auction? Okay, they got, kind of they got some boring stuff coming up, so it's nothing really exciting. Now, this is, again, great watch, but it's the wrong metal. Now, yeah, this is the wrong metal. So this is the same as the Colonel's watch, except mine is rose gold. This is steel, and this dial has got some discoloration here. Something is wrong with that watch. We got a Lange Platinum. $4,000 is the current bid. Obviously, it's going to sell significantly higher. Looks like it's been beaten up. From what I know, there's apparently some problems with these watches. They got some mechanical issues. Excuse me, Lange. Glashütte. Sorry. You know, they look the same to me. They look all the same to me. These Germans all look the same to me. Look, the Glashütte, I think, is a much more interesting watch than Lange. I love their rotor design. That logo on the rotor, I think, is phenomenal. So this is a limited edition. What is this? This is 93 of 200. Yeah, look at this. I mean, I actually really like their whole thing. The buckle, I love that shape of the buckle, the logo, everything about it. But we know that, you know, one of the punters recently had a bad experience with the Lange. He had a bad experience. What happened? Well, one of the Archie people bought the CQ, you know, the same one I was interested in, and he bought it instead of a Submariner. Instead of going with the best of breed, the Rolex Submariner, he wanted to be different. Yeah, he's kind of like a hipster type of guy, like a whatever, you know, one of these guys that want to be different, whatever. No, I do get it. I understand exactly why he bought the Glashütte. For the same reason I wanted the Glashütte CQ. I think his is a different one, but the blue dial, the two-tone, is a beautiful watch. The problem is, why would somebody pay that money? I mean, the price is as much as a Rolex. I don't know if you had the choice between Rolex Submariner and a Glashütte CQ. Why would you buy the Glashütte? I mean, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. But this guy bought it. Next thing you know, the thing breaks down, and they wouldn't honor the warranty. They would not honor the warranty. So is the glass shitter. That is completely right. What else they got coming up? IWC, couldn't care less. These are a bunch of shitters. Breitling, a bunch of shitters here, a bunch of shitters, shitters, basic bitch watchers and shitters. Even this Patek Philippe is kind of a dog. It's kind of a dog, yeah. I don't like these hands. I don't like this sub-dial. Very boring. And I had an example. That was my first Patek, was a hobnail like this, a Calatrava. Hands only, manual wind. We got a Yacht Master coming up. This looks like it's been polished a little bit, no? What is this? Oh, this is the small one. 37 millimeter. Nah, I think this is, you really want the 40. 37 is too much of a girl's watch. I mean, it is kind of a, I mean, you know, because when you get the 40, you don't want the 37. Okay. This is interesting. What a beautiful watch. Look at this. This is MB&F perpetual calendar in titanium. Wow. And it's got green. I love it. It's got this very 3D look. You know, this watch is, you know, this is, again, this is, if you want to go independent, you want to do the independent thing, I don't think you can do any better than this. You got a green dial. Looks great with that green strap. Yeah. Really nice. Let's take a look at the back. I think these are like, excuse me. I think these are, if I'm not mistaken, these are, how much are these going for? Curious. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I don't know what they're going for. I don't see any on chrono. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. He's got another one here coming up. He's got a lot of weird MB&F watches here. Interesting. Interesting. $73,000 is the current bid. Horological machine number 4. Let's see. How many of these did they make is what I want to know. Yeah, I bet these are from the same guy. I bet this is from the same guy with the green strap. It's probably the same guy that owns them, that owned them, I should say. Let's see what else they have. Okay. Yeah. Pretty interesting. All right, that's about it. I mean, look, this kind of gives you the update what's going on. There's deals out there. Let's see. And I think again, the market is pretty active, but you know, when prices are good, right? Right now, look, things are priced right, they're moving. Things that are overpriced, they're sitting. It's common sense, right? Unbelievable. All right, that is today's market report for you. Let me know what you punters think. Leave your nasty and vicious comments below, and make sure you get our free email newsletter that comes out every week. And we'll see you all.